Our bodies are wonderful. They take care of almost all the heavy lifting on their own, without us having to lift a finger. The food that we eat gets converted into tiny nutrients that are utilized inside our bodies. The oxygen from the air gets transported to every cell of the body, where it is used to produce energy. Similarly, the body knows how to protect itself against threats. Inflammation is the body's natural response to harmful things like infections, toxins, and injuries. However, if this response becomes a normal thing for you, then what was supposed to be a protection would become a liability instead. In this video, we're going to look at chronic inflammation, what are its causes, and the 5 amazingly simple tips to deal with this rather unpleasant condition. So what is chronic inflammation? As we said, inflammation is the body's natural response to damaging phenomena like infections and injuries. When cells of the body get damaged or a foreign intruder like a virus or pathogen is detected, our body releases chemicals that wake the immune system up. The immune system then releases antibodies and proteins. The damaged tissues then accumulate plasma proteins which cause swelling, and at the same time, an army of fighting cells called the neutrophils start their march towards the affected area. Neutrophils, by the way, are a type of white blood cell, or leukocyte. Finally, the blood vessels around the affected area enlarge to speed up the movement of plasma proteins and leukocytes towards the target area. As you can see, the body takes some drastic measures to deal with the foreign invasion and cell damage. As a result of these measures, we may experience pain, swelling, redness, and even loss of function in the damaged part. These signs start to appear within hours or days of the initial damage, and usually, the signs can last between a few days to a few weeks. Depending on the severity and cause behind the damage, if the inflammation lasts for just a few days, then it is known as acute inflammation, and if it lasts between 2 to 6 weeks, then it is termed subacute inflammation. But what if the inflammation continues to persist for months and even years? This is known as chronic inflammation, and it is one of the leading causes of various diseases, like diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, allergies, cancer, and stroke. What are the symptoms of chronic inflammation? Acute inflammation is hard to miss as it is accompanied by pain, redness, and swelling. Chronic inflammation, on the other hand, is usually not that noticeable. The common symptoms associated with chronic inflammation include fatigue, body pain, diarrhea and constipation, weight loss or weight gain, depression and anxiety, and persistent infections. Depending upon the cause, these symptoms could vary from mild to severe and could last for months or years. Causes of chronic inflammation. Many factors could contribute to chronic inflammation. First off, if the root cause of acute inflammation, such as an injury or infection, is not treated, then it could turn into chronic inflammation. Another major cause of chronic inflammation is autoimmune disease, like celiac disease or rheumatoid arthritis. An autoimmune disease is a condition in which the body's immune system mistakes its own tissues as threats and thus attacks them. Long-term exposure to irritants like chemicals and polluted air could also lead to chronic inflammation. In addition, certain factors have also been identified that could potentially increase your risk of developing chronic inflammation in the future. These include obesity, smoking, old age, stress, sleep issues, and a diet consisting of added sugars and unhealthy fats. Treatment. Although nonsteroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like aspirin, ibuprofen, and naproxen, and steroids like corticosteroids can help relieve symptoms of inflammation and pain to some extent, they come with their share of risks and side effects. For extreme cases of inflammation, it might be the best course of action to opt for these drugs, and your doctor can give you better advice on that. But for milder symptoms, certain lifestyle changes and precautions alone can yield significant improvements. However, keep in mind that just as chronic inflammation builds up over time, it takes time to heal. So don't expect that we'd give you a senzu bean and it would all be over in a flash. It might take months to completely heal from the condition. With that out of the way, here are the 5 simple yet effective tips to help you in the healing of chronic inflammation. Number 1. It all starts from the diet. Your diet can make or break you. Certain foods have anti-inflammatory properties that can help you heal from chronic inflammation. On the other hand, certain foods are considered pro-inflammatory, and eating these foods can make matters worse for you. Some examples of anti-inflammatory foods are non-starchy vegetables, low-sugar fruits like berries, avocado, nuts, and seeds, fish, and fermented foods. Some of the inflammatory foods to avoid include vegetable oils, roasted nuts and seeds, grain-fed meats, and all processed foods. In addition to these foods, certain supplements could also help in reducing inflammation. These include curcumin, which is found in turmeric, fish oil, which is rich in omega-3 fatty acids, and probiotics, which support the good gut bacteria that can help prevent gut inflammation. Number 2. Just move your body. The importance of regular exercise cannot be stressed enough. In addition to the obvious weight loss benefits, research shows that regular exercise is also an effective tool against chronic inflammation. Most people know that exercise would improve their health, and yet the majority of them don't exercise. Why is that? The reason is that they think that they would have to do heavy bench presses or run 5K every day to enjoy the benefits of exercise. Hence, by putting a mountain big task in front of them, they create an ideal situation where it's easier to just give up rather than put in the effort. This is the wrong approach. You don't need to do anything extraordinary to reap the benefits of exercise. Just a 30-minute brisk walk daily should give you a definite boost in your health and help you in your journey towards an inflammation-free future. So don't think about how much you're doing compared to someone else. Just move your body, and everything else will take care of itself. Number 3. More and better sleep. It is recommended that adults should sleep for at least 7 hours every night. Guess how many of us sleep this much? Only 60%. Where a lack of sleep can affect your productivity at work, research shows that it can also worsen your inflammation problems. Although the quantity of sleep is important, the quality can also affect health. To improve the quality of sleep, it is recommended to distance yourself from laptops and smartphones an hour before bedtime, and caffeine is also out of the question close to bedtime. Number 4. A happy gut means a happy you. While the stomach is usually credited with carrying out the bulk of digestive actions, it is our guts that make sure that the food doesn't pass through our systems before every bit of nutrient is extracted from it. Then the nutrients are absorbed into the bloodstream through, again, the gut lining. Hence, problems with gut action have far-reaching consequences. When the gut lining isn't doing the job that it's supposed to, which is to absorb nutrients, it can lead to inflammation in the gut. As we said, the inflammation of the gut doesn't mean that the problem remains around the gut only. Before you know it, the inflammation would spread throughout the body, causing pain, headache, and many other symptoms that might appear irrelevant to the gut, but in reality, have everything to do with it. Hence, to heal chronic inflammation, the first thing is to keep the gut in a healthy shape. You could start with eating gut-friendly foods that have a lot of fiber in them, incorporating an anti-inflammatory diet, and getting help from probiotics and prebiotics to help the good gut bacteria thrive. Number 5. Stay clear of environmental toxins. They are everywhere. In our household cleaners, in our detergents, in our furniture paint, in our cosmetics, in our food as preservatives, you name it. We get exposed to over 80,000 chemicals daily, and most of them are not safe for our health. Remember, we said that inflammation is a natural response of our immune system against toxins, infections, and damage. When we're being bombarded with thousands of these toxins all the time, chronic inflammation shouldn't come as a surprise then. So what's the solution? Although it would be impossible to totally free yourself from this onslaught of toxins, you can try and minimize the number of chemicals that you get exposed to. For that, you'll need to shift towards natural and cleaner alternatives to the factory-made stuff. Avoiding cleaners and cosmetics with dangerous chemicals, eating whole foods instead of packaged food, and drinking clean filtered water are some of the things that can lower your exposure to harmful chemicals. In addition to that, it is also important to consume detoxifying foods that can keep you safe from the chemicals and toxins that succeed in making their way into your system. Green leafy vegetables and spices like turmeric are the best for this job. Finally, to summarize, inflammation is the body's natural response to infections and injuries. However, if the inflammation lasts for months and years on end, then it is known as chronic inflammation, and it is a major health risk that can lead to diseases like cardiovascular disease, diabetes, cancer, and stroke. Unlike acute inflammation, chronic inflammation is more subtle and its symptoms are more likely to be mistaken for something else. Common symptoms include fatigue, body pain, constipation, weight loss or weight gain, anxiety, and depression. The most common causes of chronic inflammation include untreated acute inflammation, autoimmune diseases, and exposure to chemicals. Some drugs like nonsteroidal anti-inflammatory drugs could be used for relieving symptoms of chronic inflammation, but they are not free from risks. Instead, simple daily lifestyle changes could help in the healing process. These include changing the diet, including anti-inflammatory foods and avoiding the ones that cause inflammation, regular exercise, improving the quality and quantity of sleep, taking care of the gut, and avoiding exposure to environmental toxins. With that, we come to the end of our video. We hope that you benefited from this video. If you did, please hit the like button and share this video with your friends and family. Want to see more videos like this one? Please subscribe to our channel, Welcome to Wellness, and press the bell icon as well so you never miss another video. We'll see you in another healthy video. Until then, take care.